Welcome to Mr. Giant Reacts and Tig. I'm Mr. Giant back with another video for you, back with another reaction. And let's go to Ireland. We are going to Ireland. And we're going to see, did you know Ireland invented these everyday things? Let's check it out, you know what I mean? Let's figure out where some stuff come from. Let's learn some stuff. Okay, let's go. Let's YouTube and simmer.
You probably had a few of these today already. You ate one for breakfast. You watched a film that depended on another one. You used one to take a photo with your phone. You drove past a machine in a field that wouldn't exist without one. And if you've ever flown in an aircraft or had your life saved in an ambulance, there's a good chance an Irishman invented the thing that saved you. Ireland is a small island, 5 million people, a reputation for poets and pubs. But the contributions this country has...
It's funny that he said Ireland is a small island. My island is so small, we only have 110,000 people living on it. He said 5 million for small.
made to everyday life around the world are wildly disproportionate to its size and almost completely uncredited. These are 13 revolutionary Irish inventions you use every day but never knew. And number one is in your kitchen right now, in some form, even if you don't realize it. This is Dust and Stories. Subscribe, because the world is wearing Ireland's fingerprints and most people don't even know.
Don't even know it.
Number
We gonna
13,
know.
the bacon rasher. Henry Denny, Waterford, 1820. Before Henry Denny came along, bacon was a thick, salty, badly preserved slab that took days to cook and tasted of whatever had been packed in. Denny, a butcher in Waterford, revolutionized the curing process. He developed a method of long, flat curing using less salt and more uniform pressure that produced thin, even slices that cooked quickly and tasted clean. He called them rashers. The technique spread. His company, Denny's, became one of the biggest bacon producers in the British Empire. And the modern breakfast bacon you fry in a pan every Sunday morning, the thin, flat, perfectly cuttable kind, exists because of a butcher in Waterford in 1820. Every full Irish breakfast, every English fry-up, every BLT, every bacon sandwich in every greasy spoon cafe across the English-speaking world, they all owe their existence to Henry Denny. Number 12?
Oh, wow, that is so crazy. I did not know that. I did not know this one. Of course, I don't eat bacon a whole lot. I like turkey bacon. And it's the same process that my man here created. I did not know that. So you have all these people here in America, boy, you know, they love their bacon, bacon this, bacon that, bacon the other. I wonder if they ever think how this come about and who created it. That is so crazy. An Irishman did that. Oh, wow. I'm speechless. You go to the grocery store, there's all kinds of brands of bacons and stuff, bacon and stuff like that. My man is the one that came up with the idea to make it that way. I'm definitely going to have to talk about that on my Facebook page. That's crazy. I did not know that at all. That really stunned me
Cream
because
crackers.
bacon is popular.
The Jacob family, Waterford, 1885. 65 years after Denny perfected the bacon rasher, another Waterford family changed snacking forever.
What?
W&R Jacob produced the world's first cream cracker in 1885. They used a unique fermentation process, yeast dough left to mature for 24 hours, then flattened and folded multiple times to create the distinctive, layered, flaky texture. They were lighter than any biscuit before them. They paired with almost anything: cheese, butter, soup, soda bread. They survived shipping across the empire without going stale. And they became one of the most successful biscuit brands in history. Today, Jacob's cream crackers are made on machines that produce 1 million crackers an hour and are sold in over 35 countries. The biscuit on the cheese board at every dinner party in Britain and Ireland was invented in a Waterford bakery in 1885. Number 11.
See. No, the last set of biscuits you see there, you guys they call it crackers in America. But the biscuits that you see there, our brand was Cricks going up. So that's why it looked like that. because there's a massive correlation between the Caribbean and the Irish people. So that explains why it looked like that. And I always thought that was a British thing. No, no, it's an Irish thing. That is crazy, man. Okay, I did not. That's another thing I didn't know either. That's quite interesting. And you tell you what, as much as this is not just mundane little facts here. You understand what I'm saying? This is like stuff we still do today. Cricks is still going strong in the Caribbean. Bacon is on the tables everywhere in this world, especially in the region where I live. They love their bacon. People have homage to bacon and stuff, and that's crazy. An Irishman did that vibe. That is crazy.
Electric tattoo machine. Samuel O'Reilly, Waterford, 1891. 3 Waterford inventions in a row, but this one
Yeah.
was made in New York. Samuel O'Reilly was a Waterford-born tattoo artist who
What?
emigrated to America in the 1870s. In 1891, he patented the first electric tattoo machine based on Thomas Edison's electric pen. O'Reilly's design used an electromagnetic coil to drive a needle up and down at hundreds of strokes per minute, replacing the slow, painful, hand-poked tattoo method that had been used for centuries. His invention transformed tattooing from a fringe practice into a viable industry. Every tattoo machine in every studio on every continent today is a direct descendant of O'Reilly's 1891 patent. The next time you see someone with a sleeve tattoo, remember that the technology came from a man born in Waterford. 10. The step.
Wow. And you know, everybody's getting tattoos. As a matter of fact, the other day I saw a friend of mine on Facebook. She says, time to get a tattoo to ease some of the tension. Waterford man, vibe it up. You know what I'm saying, the thing? Wow. You see, with the dominant countries in the world, you think that's where everything comes from, you know what I mean? And they would like you to believe that everything comes from there. They chop out a part of history, that vibe it up and thing like that. But that is crazy. You know, like, and I'm talking about like, as it is now, 5 out of 10 people has got tattoos, maybe more. 8 out of 10's got at least one tattoo anymore. Thank the Irishman, y'all.
Stethoscope earpieces. Arthur Leard, Wexford, 1851.
Now, I did
The
know about this
stethoscope
one.
was invented in France in 1816 by René Laennec.
Okay.
But Laennec's original design was a single wooden tube, like a small telescope, that the doctor
Okay.
pressed against the patient with one ear. It
This
worked,
one I remember
barely.
too.
In 1851, a Wexford doctor named Arthur Leard
Wexford.
had a better idea. He developed the binaural stethoscope, 2 flexible tubes attached to a chest piece with earpieces for both ears. The sound was clearer. The doctor's hands were free. The patient was less aware of being listened to. Leard exhibited his design at the Great Exhibition of 1851 in London. It became the standard medical instrument that has hung around the neck of every doctor in every
Alright.
hospital and clinic in the world for the past
Alright.
170 years.
Irishman
The version you
again.
see on television medical dramas, the one Hugh Laurie wore in-house, was designed by a doctor from Wexford. Number 9, flavored crisps.
Crisps.
Joseph Spud Murphy, Dublin, 1954. Before 1954, potato crisps existed, but they were boring. Salt only. That was your choice. Then a Dubliner named Joseph Murphy, who hated unflavored crisps with genuine passion, decided to do something about it. In 1954, in 2 rented rooms above a shop on Moore Street in Dublin, Murphy set up the Tato Company and began experimenting. After hundreds of tests, he and his colleague Seamus Burke produced the world's first seasoned crisps, cheese and onion, and salt and vinegar. The flavors weren't dusted on after frying like most modern crisps. They were applied to the potatoes before cooking, fusing with the crisp itself. The result was a snack so addictive that Murphy sold his technology to companies in America, the UK, and across Europe. Every flavored crisp on every supermarket shelf in the world is a copy of a Dubliner's idea from 1954. Tato is still going. Mr. Tate.
This is so crazy, you know what I mean? Okay. In that part of the world in Ireland, they call it crisps. In America, they call it chips. So the chips you're eating, the flavored chips, oh yeah. And I tell you what, this is so ironic because when I was back home, I used to take like green bananas, slice them up thin, okay? Then I would put all kinds of seasoning in them and let them soak in some water with the seasoning and let it soak in there. And then I'd strain it out and I'd fry it homemade green banana crisps. And all the seasoning were all soaked in and stuff in there. That is crazy.
Tato, the mascot, has his own theme park in County Armagh, and the cheese and onion crisp is, technically and legally, Irish. Number 8, the hypodermic syringe improvements, Francis Rind, Dublin, 1844. We covered Rind's invention in our previous video on erased Irish people, but it belongs in this list too. The reason is simple. Every injection you've ever had, every vaccination, every blood test, every insulin shot, every dose of anesthetic, every flu jab in every pharmacy, all of it comes back to the same Dublin doctor who performed the first subcutaneous injection in medical history at the Meath Hospital in 1844. The hypodermic needle is the single most commonly used medical device on Earth. Doctors administer billions of injections every year, and every single one of them traces back to Francis Rand. If the bacon rasher is the most commonly eaten Irish invention, the hypodermic syringe is the most commonly used. Number 7, the
You see those big old-fashioned iron-looking type? I've actually seen those as a kid. We did have something like those still, and you know, I am not a fan of needles. But when I was a kid, boy, ooh, I kid you not. This is how they give you an injection. Oh, that's why I hate needles, man. I mean, it's a jab you. It wasn't like the nice little prick that you get. It's a jab you, especially on the bum. I remember I started to have hallucinations. One time I had a fever. I don't know why I was sick, and I was thinking rats were running on me and stuff like that. Dr. Radix, they took me to the I don't know if it was, I think they took me to his house, boy, Dr. Radix. And said, oh, that sucker hurt. That muscle back there, it hurt on the top of the hip by there, boy. I am not a big fan of needles. Today, boy, I make everything within my power not to have to do that. Unless it's absolutely necessary.
Coil, Reverend Nicholas Callan, Maynooth, 1836. In a laboratory at St. Patrick's College, Maynooth, a Catholic priest named Nicholas Callan was building things that should not have been possible in 1836. The induction coil, a device that converts low-voltage electricity into high-voltage pulses, was Callan's invention. It became the foundation of every electrical ignition system in the world. Every car engine that starts when you turn the key, every spark plug in every petrol-powered vehicle ever built, every electric bell, every transformer, every radio, every television cathode ray tube. All of it traces back to a priest's lab in County Kildare. Callan was eccentric. He once electrocuted a future Archbishop of Dublin to unconsciousness during a demonstration. He used live birds as test subjects for his electrical experiments, but he changed the world. The car you drive starts because of him. The phone you're holding works because the principles he discovered are still in use today.
Wow.
If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe right now.
I'm enjoying this.
The next 6 are the inventions that have probably saved your life or someone you love's life.
Whoa.
And you'll never look at them the same way again.
Probably
6,
not.
The ejector seat.
Okay, I knew
Sir
that
James
one.
Martin,
I knew that one.
1946. After the Second World War, jet aircraft became fast enough that pilots could no longer escape a stricken plane by climbing out and jumping. They needed help. Sir James Martin, an engineer from County Down, designed a solution, the ejector seat. a spring-loaded, explosive-charged chair that could blast a pilot clear of a crashing aircraft at hundreds of miles per hour. The first live test took place in July 1946 with a test pilot named Bernard Lynch. It worked. Within a year, the entire RAF fleet was equipped with Martin's ejector seats. His company, Martin Baker, has since manufactured ejector seats used in over 90% of all military aircraft worldwide. By the time of Martin's death in 1981, his invention had saved more than 5,000 lives. The current number is over 7,600. Every fighter pilot who has ever ejected from a burning plane in the past 75 years owes their life to a Northern Irish engineer.
Okay, I
Number
know
five,
about this
the
one.
modern tractor.
What?
Harry Ferguson, County Down, 1933. Before Harry Ferguson, tractors existed, but they were dangerous, inefficient, and used implements that had to be pulled behind them on heavy chains or rigid couplings. Ferguson, an inventor from County Down, designed something that changed agriculture forever, the three-point linkage system, a hydraulic mechanism that attached the implement directly to the tractor and transferred the weight of the load onto the tractor itself, improving traction, control, and safety simultaneously. Combined with a smaller, lighter, more affordable tractor design, Ferguson's system mechanized farming on a global scale.
Oh, wow.
Small farmers who could never afford a horse-drawn plowing team could now afford a Ferguson tractor. Productivity multiplied. The little gray Fergie became one of the most recognizable agricultural machines in the world.
Why does that
Every
sound so
modern
familiar?
tractor, every John Deere, every Massey Ferguson, every New Holland uses some version of Ferguson's three-point hitch system.
Okay.
The man fed the world.
Okay.
Number
all right.
4, color photography. John Joly, County Offaly, 1894. Before 1894, every photograph in existence was black and white. Then, a Trinity College engineer named John Joly, born in a village in County Offaly, invented the first practical method of producing color photographs from a single plate. The Joly color process used a glass plate ruled with extremely fine lines of red, green, and blue, which acted as filters. When light passed through, the image captured all three colors simultaneously. The result was a color photograph that could be projected and viewed. Joly's process was eventually superseded by newer techniques, but his work paved the way for every
Paved the
color
way.
photograph ever taken,
right.
every Instagram post, every wedding photo, every passport picture, every newspaper image since the early 20th
I got me
century.
a camera right
All of
there
it
right
descends
now.
from a Trinity College engineer's invention in 1894.
All right.
Joly also did the maths that gave scientists the first reliable estimate of the age of the Earth. But that's a story for another video.
Say what?
Number 3, the portable defibrillator, Professor Frank Pantridge, County Down, 1965. Heart attack was, until 1965, almost universally fatal outside a
yeah.
hospital. By the time the patient reached emergency
Yeah,
care,
Irishman
it
did
was
that
usually
too.
too late. Then Frank Pantridge, a cardiologist at the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast, invented the portable defibrillator. The first prototype, installed in a Belfast ambulance in 1965, weighed 70 kilograms and ran on car batteries. By 1968, Pantridge had redesigned it to weigh just 3 kilograms. The device delivered a controlled electric shock to a patient in cardiac arrest,
I like this
restoring
video.
normal heart rhythm. The Pantridge plan, sending defibrillators out to the patient in ambulances rather than waiting for the patient to reach the hospital, has been adopted across the world. Today, every ambulance carries one. Every airport, train station, sports stadium, gym, and shopping center has one mounted on a wall. Every life saved by an AED at a public event, every cardiac arrest survivor who walked out of a hospital traces back to a Belfast cardiologist's prototype in 1965. The most conservative
Cool.
estimates suggest Pantridge's invention has saved millions of lives. Number 2, submarines. John Philip Holland, County Clare, 1900. We covered Holland in our previous video on erased Irish people, but his invention belongs here too because the modern submarine isn't just a weapon. It's an everyday piece of infrastructure. Every research submarine exploring the deep ocean,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
search and rescue vessel, every offshore oil and gas operation that relies on submersibles, every undersea cable repair, every climate scientist studying the deep sea, every documentary about life under the ocean. All of it works because a school teacher from Liscannor in County
That's
Clare
cool,
designed
teacher.
the basic template that all underwater vessels still use today. The submarine isn't just military hardware. It's the only way humans can access the 70% of the planet that's covered by water at depths greater than a few meters. And it was invented by an Irishman. Number one, Guinness, Arthur Guinness, Dublin,
Oh, yeah.
1759. And finally, the most famous Irish invention in the world,
Oh, yeah.
Guinness. The dark stout that built an empire, founded a brewery that signed a 9,000-year lease, and became one of the most recognizable drinks on the planet. Arthur Guinness was a Dublin brewer who, in 1759, signed the lease on St. James's Gate Brewery, 45 pounds a year for 9,000 years. He started brewing ale. Then he started experimenting with darker roasted barley. By the late 18th century, he had perfected the recipe for the porter that would eventually become known simply as Guinness.
Guinness.
The brewery is still operating on the same site, 266 years
I'm
later.
gonna have to visit that
Guinness is
place.
consumed in over 150 countries.
Mhm.
10 million pints are poured every day. It's the most exported drink in Ireland's history. And it's been around so long that most people don't even think of it as an invention. But it is. A specific brewing process, a specific roasted barley method, and a specific way of dispensing the beer with nitrogen instead of carbon dioxide, all developed in Dublin by Irish brewers over the past 2.5 centuries. The next time you see that distinctive black pint with the creamy white head sitting in front of you, you're looking at one of the most successful inventions in the history of food and drink. And every drop of it is Irish. Ireland is a small island that gave the world the bacon on its breakfast plate, the cream cracker on its cheese board, the crisps in its lunchbox, the needle that gives every injection, the system that powers every car engine, the seat that saves every fighter pilot, the tractor that plows every field, the color in every photograph, the device that restarts every stopped heart, the boat that explores every ocean, and the pint in every pub in the world. And almost nobody knows. If this video showed you an Ireland you didn't know,
Oh yeah, this video did show me an Ireland I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty interesting. The Guinness. As a kid, Guinness blended in with condensed milk. It'll give it that sweet, bitter taste. You understand what I mean? And I was never really a drinker, but you know that with a little bit of ice in it, yeah. That's a drink we used to drink all the time. I don't know if you're in Ireland, if you all did that there, because you know that was when I was a kid, and you know we get a little bit of it, but not a full glass of it or anything like that. A little bit of it is said to be healthy for you too. That's the funny part about it. So that's why kids used to get a taste of it and stuff like that. But yeah, sweeten it up and take. Yeah, this is what I like about this video. No, they even show. They improved on things that are already there. They invent parts of things that made things that were already there better. Like the stethoscope, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, he changed the design, you know what I mean? Make it more efficient. You understand? No, everybody's there. You see nurses have it around there's doctors have it around them, their necks and stuff like that. That is so interesting. I like this video a lot because it shows like everyday things. I'm gonna have to look. I wonder if there's everyday things at Serbia, everyday things at Romania, and everyday things that anywhere in the world. You understand what I mean? We need to learn where this stuff comes from so we pay some respect to these people because it's not just one group of people that's doing things to make this world better. It's everybody. You understand what I'm saying? And I like the fact that I'll be honest with you, the bacon one really, really threw me for a loop. The bacon one really threw me for a loop in there. But it was kind of cool to learn that. And the reason why that hit me so much is because even today everybody's baking this, baking that, and they're making turkey bacon, this big type of bacon, that type of bacon, all because a guy in Wofford I think that's what the name of the place is. Figure the vibe out. Invented the bacon as we know it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. But drop a like on the video, comment down below, let me know what you think. This was quite interesting. Hit me up in the comment section, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's take care of each other and let's try to bring some peace in this world, okay?